partnership with GVA, we're going to begin to infuse some business-to-business activities so that when you go there, you know what? There'll be a seminar. There'll be a game developers competition so that you guys will understand what you're competing against with other people in your market and perhaps where the level of technology and where the level of creativity should be or will be for you in the future. So this year at AGS, you're going to be very surprised because there's going to be, yes, 100,000 people floating around, running around, screaming, smoke and mirrors, all kinds of activities, cosplay, and all the things that excite, you know, the consumers there. But like G and like E3, there's going to be a quiet element for you to do business there, to take advantage of the fact that these people have all come together and they're looking for you. The people we're bringing there are going to be looking for you. So why do we spend millions and millions of dollars investing in games, but in primarily building trade shows around them? If you look at the China video game market, it's continuing to grow at 24% compounded annually. Now, when we launch trade shows in particular markets, and I spent 21 years out of 30 years in the trade show business in the high technology sector, specializing in high technology. We look for markets that are going to grow anywhere from 16 to 20% for us to invest for long-term events. This market certainly exceeds that. If you look at the youth of Beijing, there was a survey recently done of the youth of Beijing, so I guess you need to classify what is youth, right? Certainly younger than me. They are right now spending 50% of whatever money they have on online games and entertainment. And of course, we don't see that trend going down. We see that trend continuing to grow. One statistic that's not here, which is interesting, they're spending all their money. The youth are spending, you know, all their 50% of their money. But if you look at the studies, that over 75% of these kids, when they buy their games, are accompanied by their parents. They're accompanied by their parents. So something to think about from your marketing strategy. Ironically, if you look at the demographics of AGS over the last 10 years, more than 66% of our attendees of the 100,000 fall into the 32 to 45 age group. It's the complete opposite of what people would think is the case, because they're there with their children to make sure that they're buying the right kinds of games. If you look at what the video game share marketplace in China was just in 2003, it was a mere 2% of the world market. Just 2%. And we're not dealing with consoles now, right? This is just strictly online. If you look by 2013, China's shares is expected to grow to 7+%. And it would make it the third largest consumer of video games and electronic entertainment in the world. Third. It's expected to grow to $10 billion in revenue by the end of 2013. So I congratulate you. You picked a great career at some point in time in your life to come to a school like this, an institution like this, and study software and game development and software engineering and so forth and so on, because the future is bright for you. You picked a great market to be in. It's a fun market. You can actually make money doing what you enjoy. You know, I always tell people, you know, professional golfers, it's amazing how much money professional golfers make because they would play golf for free anyway. You see what I'm saying? That's how much they like it. But you picked a great market, and you picked a great time, because if you were here and you were coming out just a few months ago, the HKGVA would not be here. So now you're coming out and you're going to be wrapped up in a big blue blanket of security. You're going to have an umbrella over your head. You're not going to have to wander around the marketplace of Hong Kong, which is a treacherous marketplace to begin with in the game development area, because everybody's a game developer, right? Everybody wants to be a game developer. And use the benefits of HKGVA to help you build your business, to help you make the right contacts, to help you network, to not make the same mistakes that others have made already. Do not repeat the same mistakes. To move forward. And in conjunction with working with us, with the events, together, HKGDA and MP, our events, will give you an opportunity to exploit whatever you have for product, services, and most importantly, your messaging. So I'm basically going to wrap up by saying, you know, the market, oh my, how big is big? Well, by the end of 2013, it's expected to be a $76 billion market worldwide. There aren't that many markets and vertical markets, even in technology, that are grossing those kinds of revenues. That's US dollars now. So if you multiply times that 8, you'll get an idea of, you know, what you're talking about in Hong Kong dollars. There aren't that many technology markets and technology sectors that are growing that rapidly. There are not that many technology sectors offering those kinds of opportunities. There's not that many technology sectors offering those kinds of profit margins on products produced. And there's not that many technologies that allow you to participate in a market that's still wide open. It's still wide open. And think about what's going to happen when eventually the rest of mainland China, you know, allows consoles in, and it's not just online. So you're going to see growth beyond your wildest dreams. So congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm thrilled that I'm here to be able to say a few words to you. You picked a great field, you picked a great school, you picked a great organization to associate yourself with. When joining an association, use them and abuse them. They're there for you to be used and abused. Take advantage of anything and everything that they can offer you to make your life as easy as possible, remembering that you have to take the things that you produce out of fun and make a living doing that. And HKGDA and events and marketing activities are the kinds of things that will help you do that. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yes, definitely. It's funny, that's a great question, because you know why? I've had an aspiration for the past 2 years to launch a show called The Digital Athlete. The Digital Athlete, which was nothing, it was everything to do with sports games. Only sports games. And one of the things we're thinking about doing at AGS, but we're kind of running out of time since it's in December, but it's under serious consideration for G, which is, by the way, next November. So you have plenty of time to plan for the G event, is to create a special interest area, a pavilion, for nothing but sports-related games, called the Digital Athlete. So we're very high on that market. In the U.S., sports games rank #1 above the crime and violence games. Sports games are very, very, very high. Very, very high there. Did I answer the question? And maybe this will help too, and if you guys developing games in a variety of different vertical markets, that I strongly believe in creating special interest areas. We call them SIAs in large events like AGS, and the even larger event of G, where we have areas of the show floor and the conference program focused on mobile games, console games, online games, and what have you. So you're going to begin to see some of that developing at AGS, because this is the first time, for all of you who have been to AGS before, this is the first time game developers have ever really participated there, other than from the standpoint of having a stand and selling their games. This is the first time we've ever had an association that is dedicated and committed to your industry be a sponsor and a partner of the events. So we're going to get a lot of direction from these guys. A lot of direction, a lot of guidance, because these are the guys that know, because they're going to filter your information, your research, your desires, your wishes. It's going to be filtered through them to us about the kinds of things we should have at these events. Because only you guys can tell us where the emerging trends are. We're following you. We're not leading. Microsoft leads, we follow. So you need to tell us where we should be, what we should be doing, because we certainly don't want to miss the market opportunity. I'm always the person that comes to these seminars where, you know, after great technology talks, and everybody gets excited about, by the way, everything that Microsoft's doing is fantastic. I hope they come at AGS to debut the new Windows product, was it 8, at our show. But I'm always the person who then comes in and talks about, okay, how do we make money with this? We have to make money doing this because, you know, we got bills to pay, we got people we have to pay, we got rent to pay, office space to pay, a lot of overhead. So I'm the person that generally comes in and talks about that part of the business. So anyway, my email's available through HKGBA. Please seriously consider becoming a member of HKGBA. It's for your protection. It's for your benefit. You cannot lose. And looking forward to seeing you at the show in December. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
I think most of us will have a question.